Hi, everybody, and welcome to Disrupt Your Now with me, your host, Lisa Kipps-Brown, and my guest, my good friend, Brandon Straza, who has, Brandon, yes, show us your muscles. He has a great story to tell that I think so many of y'all are going to relate to, and he also has an exciting event coming up. So, Brandon, first, I want you to tell everybody about your background.
Yeah. So my background, it's not sexy. It,
Oh,
it,
yes, it
it
is.
it's when I really look at it, I was talking to my corner man the other day, and we were really going in and diving into my background, what I call my foundation.
Mhm.
And that's the biggest thing that I see in the entrepreneurial space is everyone thinks that they have to have a sexy background, something really cool to offer, to sell, to like, this is what's going to get me going.
Yeah.
But the reality is I went the complete opposite direction. I found a way to take pennies, nickels, dimes, and turn them into like singles, fives, tens, and hundreds over a period of time. And the foundation of why I did that, gosh, that's probably a whole nother story. But by doing that, I'm now able to work in a world, surround myself with people like yourself, because I came from banking and finance and insurance. Can be very lucrative, and it has been, and it still continues to be. But it takes time to build that up.
Yeah.
And so, my oldest company's got over 8,000 clients.
Wow.
The average household has over 2.25 products in our household. So to like really cut that down would be super difficult. What that has done for me is now allows me to be in an arena and work in different domains that otherwise looked super sexy, looked super cool, but I would have been exposing myself to considerable amount more risk by not building a foundation that I can sit. And I mean, to be honest with you, I really haven't been there in the last month. I think I've been on the road 3+ weeks and haven't been there. And it continues to produce.
You haven't been at your business.
The business is run. People are running the business, and I'm over here, working on the event that we've got coming up next week, building the Success Finder, working, looking at working with a new dev team to continue to enhance what we're building with the Success Finder. But again, it all comes with knowing my unforgivables. It comes from like looking and sitting there and looking at my micro beliefs and my macro beliefs in life. And then that way I can choose to make what we might call a strategic, I can diversify my risk strategically. I don't have to sit there and actually really think about it. So yeah, my background is numbers, finance.
Well, and I love that. What was it that your mentor or whatever told you years ago? He said everybody's stupid in the y'all's industry or whatever when you were trying to decide whether to start that business.
Yeah, he said there's a lot. I actually have kind of like forgotten the exact one, but I know I've said it in the last year. But yeah, you're right. There's a lot of idiots in the industry, and that goes across all domains.
And not
there's a lot of idiots. Yeah. So what it really takes is making smart decisions, working hard, and you're able to overcome the objections and overcome things that other people can't, because you're going to take your time. You're going to walk through the process.
Yeah.
And so since there's a lot of idiots in that industry, you can succeed if you choose not to be an idiot.
Well, I think it's very interesting that you built up a multi-million-dollar business, but you didn't view yourself as an entrepreneur, right? You viewed yourself as a business owner. And I think that's really typical. Now, on the other hand, there are a lot of business owners who view themselves as an entrepreneur, and what they don't really realize the difference. But I want you to tell them about when you realized that you were an entrepreneur.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm going forward too fast.
No. I mean, a couple of years ago, I built a business. Other people have built businesses equally, if not more successful, and a majority of them far less successful. That's the reality. I can own that and say that far less successful than what I've built. And through that, I'm just like, I own a business. But what I started realizing is like, do I work on the business or in the business? And the sooner that I finally realized, like, it wasn't because I had a lot of people, I'm an entrepreneur, they have a problem with authority. So they go, they start a chain business or whatever that is.
That's me.
What's that?
I said, that's me. I have a problem with authority.
And that's okay. Like I get, yeah, I've been in the, where authority has been here, and I still listen to the authorities around me that are, my partners, my friends, people like you.
Yeah,
and
we just have to know who to listen to them with.
You have to know who to listen to. You have to know how to cut out the noise and find the signal of the people that you should be listening to. So, I'm going through this journey, and someone tells me about this word called mastermind. Never looked at it. Surprisingly, didn't even Google what is a mastermind. It was Travis Chappell. I was listening to his podcast. I had previously interviewed him through one of my companies. And I'm like, wow, this sounds pretty intriguing. So I go to my first mastermind. I head over to Thailand, kind of, like really went all in. It wasn't like I was just like, oh, I'll see what coaching and masterminds. I mean, I had heard of coaching, but I had mentors around me. So I was like, coaches are for sports.
All right.
That's what they're there for. And I go to this mastermind where I met one of our mutual friends, and I call him a friend because the level of respect that he and I have garnered for each other. Steve Sims.
Yeah, and my followers know, they're familiar with Steve, but for those of you who are new to us, Steve is the author of Bluefishing, The Art of Making Things Happen. So if you're not familiar with him, you really have to go get the book and read it.
And he also wrote the foreword. Something that we're going to be if you come to the event next week, and it's an investment to come to the event. We'll get into that later. You're going to get a copy of, I've got cameras like reverse of Disrupt Your Now. And Steve Sims wrote the foreword, and Steve's not going to just write a foreword to write a foreword. That's the reality. He has to respect, understand, want to work with, know that the other person on the other end is equally as committed as they are. And that's why Steve wrote that's why I've got to imagine Steve wrote the foreword to your book, which is amazing. I'm honored to be in there. I'm one of around 50 true entrepreneurs, true business people, change agents in the world that are in this book. And so I see Steve Sims, and I listen to all these other amazing entrepreneurs, and I'm like, holy crud. Like, everyone there is light years ahead of me of where I'm at in my development, what I'm doing. Here's the thing. That's the human mindset. Right?
Yeah.
That wasn't my champion's mindset, but that's my human mindset. And that's what I've learned by working with Dr. Jeff Spencer, who I consider my corner man. Like, everybody needs someone like him in their life. And on paper,
you say corner man, you mean like if you're in the boxing ring and they pull you back over to the corner, and is that what you're talking about?
If you go look them up, that's something that Nick Peterson and Dr. Jeff Spencer have coined it. You have coaches, you have mentors, you have practitioners, tacticianers, and then you have cornermen. They've lived a life much longer. They have all this actual experience. They're not the person that you're going to go have run your ads.
Yeah. They're the big picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the person that's straightened out personal business, all sorts of.
Sorry, I felt like I had a bug on me or a spider. Sorry. So you get over to Thailand, and there are all these big name people, and your mind is blown, right?
All these amazing big name people, and I felt this big. Now, they did not make me feel that big. They welcomed me, but my human mindset sat there and was like, "You're way out of your league. You don't belong here." On paper, I probably had if not the most successful on paper businesses that was there. But I didn't look at it that way. I'm like, I'm going to get lapped here. What do I need to change? And so when I left, I realized that I was lucky by design. I had built that success. I had built that, but I wanted to help other people find that success. I wanted other people to be able to know that when they were going into the world that I was also, learning about at that time, that the process, the intent that was created on their end and, on the coaches or mastermind side was equally as there. So that's really where the original idea of the Success Finder was. I'm like, not everyone can get this lucky or can afford to get this lucky. So how do we create intent? How do we make sure that when you are part of a group, part of a mastermind, working with a coach or looking for all of this, you get what you want, when you want it, when it matters most to you. And it's not reliant upon the social algorithms of the Facebooks, the LinkedIns, the Twitters, all the Instagrams out there. Yeah. Their goal is not to create intent. Their goal is to distract you. I'm not saying we're replacing that But when it comes down to, finding the right coach and finding the right mastermind and intent being created, as opposed to using 8 systems, you're going to use one to work with those people that are going to help level you up.
And for most people, most businesses, especially people that are in kind of the professional or consulting arena, you don't even need that many clients. So everybody's out there all worried about how many followers they have and everything. And it's like, you can't work with so many, and you really only want to work with the right people anyway. So stop worrying about all that and figure out how to do it right.
Yeah, everyone's looking like, how do I trick the algorithm? How do I get on top of it? I see these things all the time. What's your favorite XYZ this week? All these different motivational ones. And the idea is, because you've figured out how that algorithm works, is to make sure that your stuff's being shown in front of it, but you got to work extra hard. What if you didn't have to work that hard? I'm not saying, but work as hard as you are to beat that algorithm.
Right.
But you were able to have a bigger impact. Why is it we're looking at more equals more?
Right.
More does not always equal more. Please let that sink in. More does not equal more. It could be more headaches. It could be more time that you're spending away from your family. What we're going to solve is more doesn't equal more with the Success Finder. That's the idea behind the event that we're having next week, that we're putting on, that we've got some amazing people such as yourself that are going to be there. And then the amazing educators that are going to be there on site, working with the people to solve what that next problem is that you need solved to unkink that hose. But a lot of the time we look at it, more is more. And it literally isn't. Like, I'm now building a world around, like, how can I spend more time, more quality time with my son, my wife, and our dog, my family. Like, quality time with them, so they know that when I'm there, I'm not doing this.
Exactly.
Like, or this, or this.
Which we all find ourselves doing. In the book, our friend, I think you know him too, Richard Mulholland in South Africa, he talks about how most business owners have no victory condition, and all we want to do is grow, grow, grow. And he makes a really good point. He goes, that's cancer.
Yeah.
You just keep growing and growing, but we get hung up in that mindset of more is better. But as you say, more is not more.
No, you gotta look at it as a stair step. You're going up now. You need to take time to breathe, get everything in place. Then you go up, time to breathe, get everything in place.
Great point.
And it's a stair step, whereas we just think I'm trying to think like on the camera how it is, so I'll just go this way. We think that it needs to just be this.
Yeah.
You can't sustain that.
No.
I guarantee you 100%, trust me, you can't sustain it. Prove me wrong.
Right. Like, no matter what business you're in, you can't sustain.
Doesn't matter.
And that's why even the huge corporations out there end up getting themselves in trouble, because they start trying to be everything to everybody to keep that trajectory going.
Yeah. It's because we look at different things. We're like, oh, well, success is this. Well, based off of a magazine, a social post, a friend, a family, whomever, not what success is to you.
Yeah.
Like, has anyone ever have you sat there, anyone listening right now or on replay, and written down what success is to you? And if you need to put a number to it, like, hey, I need to have this in the bank. This is my time frame. Why don't you back into it and actually, as opposed to just guessing?
Yeah.
I had a conversation with my wife yesterday on a walk, and it was about looking over the next 10 years for if she chooses to retire, what does that look like? Like an actual real conversation with sustainable metrics that make us happy. What does that look like? She did a residency at the Mayo Clinic, doctor in pharmacy, brilliant woman. She'd be smacking me in the back of the head. Stop saying those things. But like, what does it look like so we can have quality, happy time that is to us inside of our family? It's not having a bigger house. It's not having a different car. It's literally just relaxing, because what do most people want to know at the end of the day? Am I going to be okay?
Yeah, true.
That's what you want to answer. Like, I'm investing in the stock market. I'm investing in, cryptocurrency, in the housing market, whatever it is. All you really want to know is, are you going to be okay? What we're building with the Success Finder, for coaches and for masterminds, is it has a purpose behind it. It is for purpose to help you to have more time one of the attendees, I won't list their name, but she has mentioned her clients can reach her here, 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 here.
Yeah.
They can reach her everywhere, and it's literally eating up the time. What if that doesn't have to be the case? Like, it's not a magic pill. It's not a magic bullet. It's not like some fancy program or anything like that. But it is something that is built and designed to help you create more time for what matters to you, what matters to your clients, because they're going to get it.
Yeah. And setting those boundaries also.
Yeah.
You know, I think that not having a coach is one of the biggest mistakes that almost every entrepreneur makes. I didn't have one I've been an entrepreneur since 1990. And I first started working with Steve in 2018. That's 28 years.
Yeah.
I didn't have a coach. And a lot of it is because we entrepreneurs kind of a lot of us tend to be loners, and not that we don't like people, but that we like, we're used to just getting shit done. But also, it's like we just don't realize that we think if we have friends or we have people, whatever, that are also in business, that we can just talk and figure things out. It is not the same thing at all.
It isn't. Now, I built success. What success looked like to me, and success, I always based it off of a number. Like numbers were, and I was wrong. Like, and it might be right for someone else. I learned internally and personally, I was wrong. Now, I didn't have a coach. I had mentors, people that worked in the industry, people that I would have questions with, conversations with, but I didn't understand the world of coaching and masterminds and what that really, really meant. I sent off, I don't know, a couple dozen messages today because I have enough connections with people that I believe it will impact what we're doing next week. And again, I'm not going into that right now, but my point to that is, if I hadn't learned about coaching and masterminds, and I'm not a coach, okay, I wouldn't have been able to have that comfort level to have that type of a network that we've built towards. And it all comes from the aspect of even the best coaches have a coach. Steve Sims has Roland Frazier, amongst other ones that, he has. But I'm just going to give one name. Steve Sims, the coach, has a coach in Roland Frazier. Roland Frazier, I can't speak for Roland, has someone that he goes to. Okay. So the best 6, 7, 8, 9-figure entrepreneurs, 6, 7, 8, 9-figure people that are making differences, building a life of happiness for them, have coaches, are part of masterminds. And here's the thing. Someone will come back. Don't have time for it.
Yeah.
Baloney. I can't afford it. Baloney. There's a bigger word behind that one. I'll just BS.
Yeah, because most people, oh my God, sorry, there's like something keeps flying around me. But people be like, that costs so much. Well, okay, but it's not a cost, it's an investment if you really do it right. And that's the thing. It's that even the best have coaches. I tell people, the greatest sports figures in the world, they still have a coach. Yeah. And their coach doesn't necessarily play as well as they do or anything, but they help them with micro things, whether it's their attitude or their swing or whatever. And that's why a lot of people have a lot of the top entrepreneurs also have multiple coaches.
I do. And I've got multiple coaches. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you on this one. I have tried to walk away or exit from the insurance company more than 5 times over the last 10 years. Failed every time. Just failed every time. Okay.
Failed at what though? Like
was not able to walk away and let the business run itself. Was not able to give the confidence to the people that were there that they knew it was going on, because I would always kind of announce it and I would always try throwing in 15 different things. None of them would stick. And so, it was just like chaos on top of chaos. I got the right coach. I got the right corner man. I got the right people around me. And it was almost like surgery. strategic, small, micro moves
Yeah.
that equated to the macro decisions, the bigger picture, without announcing it, without making these huge, shakeups that amounted to nothing. So in the last year itself, like I think I said in the beginning, I wasn't around my oldest business really for the last month.
Wow.
It still is producing record months. Everyone there, the happiness factor continues to rise.
Because Brandon's not around.
I had a conversation with someone today.
I'm just teasing.
No. I had a conversation with someone today. They're like, and they hadn't really realized some of the small strategic steps that have been made for this to happen. And I'm like, but everything's running just fine.
Yeah.
No one's sitting there saying, I can only talk to Brandon. No one's sitting there saying like, hey, I need to talk. It's like, and they're like, wow. I'm like, yeah, look at the last 18 months. If you want to go back, I'll sit there and pinpoint the key things, but look at all the small little micro things that have happened. You guys are good.
Yeah.
And that is solely 100%, hands down. I can tell you one move that saved me 2 hours a day, 7 days a week, just by creating someone named Peggy. So, I mean, if you look at that, that saved me 730 hours a year.
So Peggy is the person you hired?
Kind of.
Okay.
But that's 30 full days of my life back.
Wow.
That was.
And we don't think about it that way.
Yeah. 30 full days. That's not like 30 working days. I'm talking 30 24-hour days, because that's simple math. Like, I love numbers. That's why I do, 2 hours times 365 days. That's 730 hours. If I divide that by 24 hours in a day, that's 30.41 days back of my life. By implementing one thing that I got a little pushback on, but now everybody loves it. Peggy actually is a fictitious thing.
Oh, okay.
But it's a centralized location where a lot of information goes and multiple people can gain access to it. I'm being vague because to get into the bushes of it.
Yeah, there's
but
not.
It gave me 30 full days. I got a whole month back of my life.
Wow. I think one thing that, especially smaller entrepreneurs, even if we know we should do some of these things, people get caught in that loop of, I know I need to do it, but I don't have the money to do it yet. So I need to do more work on this, so I'll have the money. And then it's the self-fulfilling thing where they never get to the point that they have the money because they're still doing the same old shit.
Yeah, I had my wife and a previous partner of mine. They're like, get a coach, get a coach, get a coach. And I'm like, I'm going to, and I never did. And then I'm like, I just got tired of hearing them say they were right.
Yeah.
I knew it. It wasn't that I thought I knew better.
Isn't it funny though that your wife knew it and she's not a business owner, right?
No, she's not. She's not. But she saw the candlestick that I was burning.
Yeah.
She saw that I could not run. I was not going to be able to efficiently run multiple companies without doing it. And I mean, it's been life changing. Myself, my family, my businesses. I mean, I can go back and pinpoint certain specific things that it's night and day. So here's the scary thing. You're like, I got to go Google find the right coach. I got to trust someone that could be drinking the Kool-Aid. I get that.
Yeah.
That's why we built the Success Finder. Next year, what we're going to release next year, from the updated 2.0 version is going to make things just so much easier. Because here's one of the things that I realized: I'm trying to disconnect from this old iPhone 10 right here. Okay? Trying to disconnect from it. I'm trying to disconnect from this right here. And so I can admit when, maybe I didn't go with the most efficient path forward, but again, I continue to surround myself with the right people. And I said, hey, I'll swallow my pride. What is the best next step? There's several things, but one of them was really a web version of it.
Okay. Yeah.
To make it easier for creators. So people like yourself. Anyone doesn't know this out there, Lisa is also a coach. Okay.
Yeah.
Happens to be on the Success Finder. She's a trusted source. But when you want to create, you want to get your message out to people, sometimes it's just easier to do it from where we're doing it right here.
Right.
As opposed to doing it from this little tiny thing right there.
And the other thing is, a lot of times I don't even want to pick my phone up because I know even if I don't open an app, the minute I look at the screen, I have the whole screen full of, you know, things I've missed or whatever. And I also feel this obligation to go open my email app and everything, where if I'm on my laptop or desktop, I won't do that. I might have one open, but I won't have all of them open like I do, you know, in my mail app on my phone. It's everything, just like a fire hose.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, that's the thing. You know, what we were talking about was I got to go find the right coach. I'm going to go to a Facebook group. Like,
I know, really.
I get it. I'm not like, but like, I'm going to get distracted. I can get on Facebook right now for one singular purpose and I will be distracted. I guarantee you within, as soon as I open it, because like, oh, what's this? Oh, wait, oh, let me look. And then I will forget like what I was actually there for.
Yeah.
So when you want to go Google, are you going to like Google like, hey, who's the best coach for me in this area and this and this and that? No, it doesn't. Like something like that's not out there to make it easier for you. It's just to confuse and make it more difficult because they want to keep you on there longer. That's that's one of the things that we're solving, is to be able to find the right coach in the right order when it matters most to you. And that's what we'll build. There's nothing else out there like that. They're there to distract you. We're not. We're there to help level you up.
Yeah, I am so excited about it. And even if you do try to go out and do research on your own, basically you're going to find the people who are the best marketers, not the best coaches. You know, I always tell my clients, look at the like pop musicians out there, rock stars or whatever. They're not the most talented musicians and singers. It's like opera people and orchestra, but they're great marketers.
Yeah.
And so that's the thing. It's people get attracted to the big names and they think I have to be just like that person or work with them. And you mentioned something about coach near me. It doesn't matter where they are because like you're in Dallas, I'm in Virginia, and you know, we don't need to be in the same place anymore.
No, I work with one person on a monthly, and then, you know, we need a message or whatever back and forth. And I work with another person on a weekly basis. And if we need a message back and forth, I've seen each one of these individuals 3 times in the last 2 years, like face to face.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like 3 times. Like I don't need
so much
the first time I saw one of them, I'm like, you're a lot smaller than I thought.
That's so funny. You're learning so much, but you're saving so much time too. And then all that time keeps adding up.
Yeah, because the time and resources, we have a limited amount of time and resources. So why are we making it more difficult? I want to hustle. I want to grind and hustle. I want to be part of the grind and hustle crowd. I want to, you know, I want my side hustle. I want to learn from the gurus. Why?
Yeah.
Like, why? Build a foundation. It doesn't have to be sexy. Build a blessed foundation to where you know what is going to happen. You can have reliability behind that.
Yeah.
I didn't start getting in that realm until my late 30s. And by the time I look, so I'm in my, mid 40s now, early mid 40s. By the time I get to my 50s, the amount of work the amount of what I would call work will go like this. The amount of impact will be exponential because I will have created my clarity, which will allow me to have certainty, which then allows me to collapse time. And that's not mine, but I understand that. You want to know whose that is, you go see Nick Peterson. Nick Peterson is the one that I'm hijacking that from, but how it pertains to me is by the time I'm 53, 54, I'm having conversations with my wife who's younger than me and saying, what does it look like when you're in your late 40s? Do you want to go do this?
Yeah. And when she does, chances are she's going to end up with a coach because she's going to be at an age that she's so young. I mean, you can only goof off a certain amount of time. You can only play golf or lay on the beach or whatever, a certain amount of time and read or whatever. And most people end up wanting to do more. A lot of people do it through volunteering, and that's totally fine too. But a lot of people realize that they still need something that's a challenge. They might not care about the money, but they need something that's a challenge.
Yeah, if I had to guess, throw something out there, it'll be a charitable event. She'll probably be working with our for-purpose part of the company, the Success Finder, which is finding the.
Just a second, my thing's almost dead. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize I didn't have my laptop plugged in.
Oh,
Thank God. Thank God I noticed it said I'm only at 12%. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. But we're building out a for-purpose.
Yeah, tell them about that. Tell the people in here about that. I think it's so cool what you're doing with that.
Yeah. So here's the thing. If you're a coach, if you lead with the give mentality, if you want to actually learn how to be a part of the Success Finder, you want to help grow what's going to change the face of who people have access to. The Success Finder wants to look at it. We'll call it the Sally Fund. Sally's 14, Timmy's 28. Two different people, two different lives. Timmy's mom and dad work 9 to 5. Okay. That's not Timmy's fault, but he doesn't have a lot of life experiences and he's coasting. He's doing his thing, his 9 to 5, because mom and dad had the 9 to 5. But Sally at 14, dad works a night job, mom works a double, and she's not in the best school district.
Yeah. What
could Sally accomplish if she was able to gain access, for the proceeds that we hold back to pay our coaches and masterminds? What could she accomplish by the time she's 15, 16, 17, 18? Here's the thing. You can't just look at it from one perspective. Not only have we helped Sally, we've helped her household, her parents. We have helped her school. We've also helped her community, because now that ripple effect continues to go. So that's what we will build out as being for purpose, and making sure how we give back, how we help have the coaches give back, has a long-term, the pebble in the pond. You see a pebble, you see a ripple.
Yeah. So any funds that are generated through the company, a part of it goes into the Sally Fund so that we can support youth entrepreneurs or whatever, right?
And we don't even have to say the youth but just the youth that don't have access or have the ability to gain access to people like you, like Steve, like Nick, like Dr. Jeff Spencer, people that don't have access and know that. And no, I'm not saying like Nick and Steve and Dr. Jeff. I'm giving names of people that I've surrounded myself with, but with other people that they otherwise wouldn't have access to.
Yeah. And I want to make it clear, though, to everybody that the Success Finder is free. So we're talking about the Sally Fund and talking about a percentage of funds going into that for-purpose fund. But the Success Finder is free unless you choose to do something that costs money.
Yeah. I mean, like if you choose to get a coach, if you choose to get on, one of the masterminds on there. Yeah, that is. Now, here's the cool thing. There are free masterminds. People, when they enter our world, if they, if it's an aligned purpose, we have free masterminds that we help match people up with, that we help find the right ones with it. Thursday Night Boardroom, my good friend and partner, Jeff Moore. Yeah. Brilliant individual. Had this for, over a decade. And people are able to gain access to it because of the fact that they're on the Success Finder. We had an amazing group on there just last Thursday. I don't think you were able to. Yeah, I think
I've only been able to come one time. Every week I miss it, and it kills me.
But here's the cool thing: you're gonna get to be with Jeff next week. You're gonna get to be with Nick next week. You're gonna get to be with some of those people that are part of Thursday Night Boardroom. Jeff Moore is the creator, the father of that. But you're going to get to sit and break bread with those people, and they're going to get to break bread with you for 2 days.
Yeah, tell us about that, because most events that anybody goes to, in most entrepreneurial events you go to, somebody comes in, they speak 15, 35, 45 minutes. They might hang around, take some pictures at the end, and they're gone. But the speakers that you have are going to be there the whole 2 days, right?
Yeah, they're going to be there the whole 2 days. That was one of the things that we wanted to do a little bit differently is make sure that when you come in, you get, and this is who it's for. Let's say who it's for. You're a coach of a mastermind and you want to grow your group without spending all your time on social media.
Yeah.
Now, that's actually turned a few people off. They're like, well, I want to, I have to. Like literally, they're hooked up to Zuckerberg right here.
Yeah.
And that's great. We're probably not for you then.
Yeah.
Like, I'm about finding more efficient ways to find happiness, to grow what you're doing so you have a bigger impact on the people that you're working with without having to rely solely upon social. So yeah, they're going to be there for the full 2 days. Here's what your problem is. This is what you want solved. By the time you leave, we want to make sure that you have that one problem that you need solved because the educators are going to be there. They're going to talk. They're going to workshop. You're going to work together. You're going to break bread together. They're going to be there the whole time. Now, someone could say, well, you've got a vested interest in this. Well, you're dang right. Dang right. I've got a vested interest in it. Make sure we have the right people in the room. We already have the right educators. We have the right people. The reality is someone sits there and says, well, you know, then we're probably not for you. And that is okay. But if you want to come hang out with some of my friends, you want to come out and hang out with Lisa, I guarantee you this will be something. It's not a magic pill. It's not a magic course that we're giving. None of it. You're actually going to have to implement stuff. But we got 5 of some of the most amazing givers in the country that I call friends and some partners that are going to come and work with you. These are 7, 8, and 9 figure earners that they're going to stay there. So I don't know. I can't sit there and say that you're going to miss out. If you're there, you know, and if you're not, you just don't know.
And y'all need to understand that, like you were talking about the groups and social and everything. Like me, I don't want a big group. I don't like babysitting people. I don't like, you know, I like working with a small group of people who really, you know, click with each other. I don't want thousands of people or even hundreds of people in a group. I just want like the right few people. And that's the thing that we tend to get too hung up on what we see the gurus doing and everything and think that's what we have to do. So one thing about being there with those guys and girls.
And girls. Yes, we have girls and guys. Yes.
Is that it really will help you clarify what it is you want out of life. Because you know, I could go, oh my God, yeah, it'd be so cool to have like whatever, hundreds, thousands of people in a group. But I can tell you, if I really think about it, it would just make me so full of anxiety because it's not the way I am. It's not that I'm shy. I just don't like babysitting people. And I don't like that whole thing of churn and trying to keep a bunch of people happy.
And that's what they're going to be there for, is to give you what you want, when you want it, when it matters most to you next week. That's what they're going to be there for. They're trying to find a way to collapse time. They're trying to find a way to spend less time with just such large audiences. That's what they want to work on, because who wants to manage that? Now, I will say, Laurel, who is just an amazing person, she has over 2,000 people a month buying one of her products. But the amount of time that she puts into it and how she built it out, it makes sense.
Right.
Like, she's able to do that. She's able to have you spend less, but still be able to get what you need to get what you want out of it. And so I'm super stoked for you get to meet Laura and the other ones, because you've met a few of them socially or through Speakeasy or, you know, different things that Steve's put on. But super excited for the impact that's going to make, because I know this. People like you, Lisa, you're going to go back and you're going to take 1 or 2 things that matter most to you.
Yeah.
You're going to implement it. And then the people that work with you are going to benefit from it. So that's why I know there will be someone walking down the street that I'll pass someday that was through the Success Finder, worked with, you know, some of my friends. I'll have no clue, but there will be a ripple effect where it's like a signature on something. Like you can see someone sit. that feels like, maybe they worked with Lisa, and that's what really gets me excited, is knowing the fact of the impact that you're going to make, because you'll take one or two things away, implement it with your people and what you're doing with your foundations, with NASCAR, and it's a win-win-win. Like, that's exciting to me.
I can't wait to be there, be with all the speakers, but also be with all the other entrepreneurs that are going to be there. If y'all have never been to a small group thing like this, an intimate thing where the people really are selected, it isn't like you're buying a ticket and just anybody showing up. Brandon is very selective about who's going to be there. It can really be life-changing.
Yeah, we watch, I forget, Steve says it best, so I'm going to botch this, Steve, if you listen to this. We watch the front door so you don't have to watch the back door, or vice versa, or something like that. We want to make sure the people that are going to be there are there for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, there's actually purpose out of it, and they were picked.
So tell them, I want you to tell them like where they can go to find out more about the conference. And then I want you to tell them more about the Success Finder itself. Like, is it open now, or is it still closed beta, and what to expect with that? Yeah.
So you want to go and check it out. You can reach out to me, and you can email me at brandon@thesuccessfinder.com, thesuccessfinder.com, or just go over to thesuccessfinder.com/the 3C coach effect. And Lisa can get you the information on that as well. But that's where you would go to see, is it a right fit for you? One of the people on there alone charges $12,000 for 4 hours with them.
Oh my God.
$12,000 for 4 hours with them.
Wow.
So I know the investment in this, it's $2,000.
Yeah.
Like $2,000. So the impact we'll see a really big impact. We'll actually see results. You won't just stand up and walk away and like, I'm super motivated.
Yeah, that doesn't do you any good. You're really motivated, and then you get back and you're like, okay, now what am I supposed to do?
Now what? We're going to actually give you now what? You're going to have to work with it.
Right, yeah.
But you're going to have it by the end of the second day, hands down. So that's, you want to go, reach out to me, email me, reach out to Lisa. She can get you the details on it. Success Finder still in beta. Right now, we were looking at reopening up the next round, and we're going to hold off on that probably till the end of the year with some of the positive changes that we're making with the web version of that. Because I'm not looking at bringing on 1,000 new coaches. More doesn't equal more. More is just going to give me more headache.
Yeah, hey, just more noise like we already have.
Yeah. So I'm not about more. Like, don't need that. But this is what I would do. There's a new version that's coming out later on, I believe at the end of the week, this week or next week before the event. Go download the Success Finder. Reach out to me on the Success Finder. If you're looking for a coach or mastermind, message me. Excuse me. Everyone is connected with me when they do join the app. So you can just message me, Brandon Straza. If you're looking for the right coach or mastermind, we'll help, guide that journey. If you're looking to be a coach eventually on the Success Finder, download the app. Super easy instructions. Download the app and message me.
Yeah.
It's really, really easy. And there's just a lot to come.
And if y'all do go, just remember that it's really, really, really new. And there are a lot of people like me on there that really haven't built their profile, but there's eventually, when we get our shit together, the coaches on there are going to have free courses, free groups, there's going to be so much information on there that's free. So you never have to spend a penny if you don't want to. You will be able to meet so many amazing people and interact with awesome coaches and learn from them at no cost. And Brandon, I can't tell you how happy and excited and grateful I am that you came up with that idea, that you went to Thailand those couple of years ago, 3 years ago, and ended up coming up with that idea. And I actually met you as just a few months after that in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Speak Easy Silicon Valley. And you told me then a little bit, and I was like, huh? You kind of like vaguely said what you were working on, and it's really, really cool to see it coming to fruition.
Yeah, that's the big thing is when it was built out of wanting to solve a problem.
Yeah.
It wasn't built out of what I like, this is going to solve my own problem.
Yeah.
It was built on how do we make things easier. We overcomplicate things.
We
Just
do.
way overcomplicate things.
Especially when we're working on our own stuff.
Yeah.
We are the worst at helping ourselves. Entrepreneurs in general are.
We're going to simplify it for you.
Yeah.
That's the reality. It's not perfect, but perfection means you never took off.
That's right.
And too many entrepreneurs never take off. We have all these great ideas. We have all these great thoughts and visions. And I'll leave you with this. My wife, over a decade ago now, said, shit or get off the pot.
Yeah, I say that all the time. Yep.
Stop talking about what you believe you can do, what you believe you can build, and what you want to actually do. And either do it or live the life that you've got right now.
Right.
We all need that type of person that challenges us.
I can't wait to meet your wife, because some of the things that you've told me, she sounds like such a cool, down-to-earth person, and so.
I'm where I'm at because of what the kick in the ass that she gives me.
That's really cool.
And the challenges that she gives me. Steve's, I think, interviewing his beautiful bride right now, or already has. If they don't scare you, if they don't challenge you, if they don't push you, is it the right person? And she fits that criterion so much more, because she also makes me laugh. Like,
that's really cool. That is so cool. Brandon, thank you so much for coming on here. Y'all, please do go check out, if you're a coach and you're really interested in this event next week, please do reach out to Brandon or me, or go to the Success Finder and look at the event next week that he told you about. But anybody, whether you're a coach or whether you are looking for a coach, go download the Success Finder app on the App Store and just get started. Reach out to Brandon and get started setting up. But again, remember, it's in beta and all of us are just getting started. So don't go in and expect like a ton of courses already set up and stuff, right?
If you don't know, you just don't know. But I will say, you're going to miss out. Like, yeah, I have no question on it. You might as well be an early adopter.
That's right. That's right. Thank you so much, Brandon.
Thanks, Lisa.
Okay. Talking to you later.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Bye, y'all.